Most riders think engines die from hard riding, red lines, speed, aggression. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most motorcycle engines don't die from being pushed, they die from being mistreated quietly. Little habits, everyday routines, stuff riders do without thinking, especially beginners and returning riders. I'm Matthew. This is Autozium, and today we're talking about how riders slowly kill their motorcycle engines and how to stop doing it starting today. Because if your bike could talk, it would be begging you to change a few things. Take a breath. Let's get into it. 1. Cold abuse. Hurting the engine before it's ready. Cold abuse is hands down the fastest way riders shorten an engine's life without realizing it. And the worst part, it usually happens in the first 5 minutes of a ride, when riders think nothing serious is happening yet. When an engine is cold, everything inside it is working against itself. The oil is thick and slow to flow. Internal clearances are tighter than they'll be once the engine warms up. Metal parts haven't expanded to their operating size. Bearings aren't fully cushioned yet. The engine is mechanically vulnerable, even if it sounds fine. And yet, this is when many riders do the most damage. They start the bike and immediately blip the throttle. They take off hard to warm it up faster. They rev it higher than normal because it feels sluggish. That sluggish feeling isn't weakness, it's the engine asking for patience. Cold revving scrapes metal against metal before oil has properly circulated. Hard acceleration loads components that aren't ready yet. High RPM before temperature stabilizes creates wear that never shows up immediately. It shows up years later as reduced compression, oil consumption, or premature engine noise. Here's the truth most riders don't hear. You don't warm an engine by revving it. You warm it by riding gently. The fix is simple and boring, and that's why it works. Start the bike. Let it idle briefly so oil pressure stabilizes. Then ride away smoothly. Keep RPMs moderate. Avoid sudden throttle. Let the engine come up to temperature naturally. You don't need 10 minutes of idling. You just need the first few minutes to be calm and respectful. Do this consistently, and you dramatically reduce internal wear. Ignore it, and you slowly sandpaper your engine every single ride without ever noticing. 2. Skipping oil changes, quietly removing the engine's lifeline. If there's one habit that kills engines silently, it's stretching oil changes past their limit. Not dramatically, not all at once, just slowly enough that riders convince themselves it's fine. Oil isn't just lubrication, it's cooling, it's cleaning, it's protection. It carries away microscopic metal particles. It cushions bearings. It prevents direct metal on metal contact. And once it breaks down, none of that happens properly anymore. Modern motorcycle engines are especially hard on oil. They run hotter than cars. Many share oil between the engine, transmission, and clutch. That means the oil is dealing with combustion heat, gear shear, and clutch debris all at the same time. When oil gets old, it doesn't fail loudly. There's no warning light, no dramatic sound, no immediate performance loss. Instead, wear begins quietly. Bearings lose protection. Cam lobes polish themselves down. Cylinder walls experience increased friction. By the time you feel something is wrong, the damage is already done and irreversible. This is where riders get it wrong. They treat oil changes as suggestions instead of deadlines. Just one more ride. It still looks clean. I don't ride that hard. None of that matters. Oil degrades based on time, heat cycles, and contamination, not just mileage. Even bikes that sit a lot need regular oil changes because moisture and acids build up inside the engine. The fix isn't complicated or expensive. Change oil on time. Use the correct spec. Replace the filter. Don't cheap out on the one thing keeping metal from destroying itself. Good oil habits don't make your bike faster. They make it last. Number 3, lugging the engine, when smooth is actually harmful. Lugging is one of the most misunderstood engine killers because it feels gentle. The bike is quiet, the RPMs are low, the ride feels relaxed, and that's exactly why riders don't realize they're stressing the engine. Lugging happens when you ask the engine to do too much work at too low an RPM. High gear, low speed, heavy throttle. The engine struggles instead of spinning freely. Inside the engine, that struggle creates problems. Combustion becomes uneven. Vibrations increase. Bearings experience higher loads. The crankshaft gets hammered instead of smoothly rotating. Over time, this kind of stress wears components faster than higher RPM riding done correctly. If your bike feels like it's shaking, chugging, or hesitating when you roll on the throttle, that's not efficiency. That's the engine asking you to downshift. Motorcycles are designed to operate within a power band. They like to spin. They like airflow. They like clean combustion. Riding slightly higher in the rev range with light throttle is far healthier than forcing the engine to pull from too low. This is especially important for newer riders who think low RPM equals safe riding. It doesn't. Smoothness comes from the right RPM, not the lowest one possible. The fix is awareness. Listen to vibration. Feel throttle response. Downshift when the engine feels strained. A relaxed engine lives longer than a struggling one. Number 4, living at redline, turning spirited riding into abuse. Let's clear something up first. Engines are designed to rev. Touching redline occasionally isn't harmful. Using the full rev range when conditions are right is part of enjoying a motorcycle. The problem starts when redline becomes a habit instead of a tool. Constant high RPM creates heat. Sustained heat accelerates oil breakdown. High piston speeds increase wear. Valve train components work harder. Everything inside the engine is under continuous stress instead of occasional load. This doesn't mean you need to ride like a grandma. It means understanding the difference between spirited and abusive. Spirited riding is smooth. Abuse is abrupt. Smooth throttle. Clean shifts. Short bursts of RPM followed by recovery. Engines handle that just fine. But bouncing off redline every gear, every ride, especially before full warm-up, shortens engine life fast. Another mistake riders make is thinking sound equals health. A screaming engine sounds exciting, but it doesn't mean it's happy, especially if it's being held there unnecessarily. The smartest riders vary RPM. They let the engine breathe. They use torque when appropriate and revs when needed. That variation prevents heat soak and reduces long-term stress. Ride hard when it makes sense. Ride smoothly always. Engines reward balance, not punishment. 5. Ignoring small warning signs. When the bike whispers before it screams. Most engine failures don't come out of nowhere. They announce themselves quietly, long before anything catastrophic happens. The problem is riders are very good at ignoring whispers. Hard starting, rough idle, occasional stalling, a vibration that wasn't there before. These aren't quirks. They're early warning signs. Engines are incredibly communicative machines. When something starts going wrong, they change behavior. Slightly, subtly, just enough that you could notice if you're paying attention. But riders get used to symptoms. They adapt. They adjust throttle habits. They avoid certain RPMs. They tell themselves the bike is just like that now. And while they're adapting, the problem keeps growing underneath. A rough idle might be a small vacuum leak. Hard starting might be a weak battery or fueling issue. A new vibration might be a loose mount or worn component. Individually, these are minor fixes. Ignored, they become expensive repairs. The most dangerous phrase a rider can say is, "It's probably nothing." Engines don't heal themselves. They degrade. Slowly, predictably. And once damage crosses a certain point, no amount of riding gently will undo it. Listening to your bike doesn't require mechanical genius. It just requires consistency. Know how it normally starts. Know how it normally feels at cruise. Know what normal sounds like. When something changes, investigate early. Early fixes save engines. Late fixes rebuild them. 6. Bad fuel habits. Starving the engine without realizing it. Fuel is another quiet engine killer because problems don't show up immediately. They build up over time, especially for riders who don't ride every single day. Gasoline degrades. It absorbs moisture. Ethanol attracts water. As fuel ages, it loses volatility and leaves behind residue. That residue doesn't just disappear, it settles into injectors, fuel lines, and carb passages. Cheap fuel can make things worse. Poor quality gas burns inconsistently. Combustion becomes less efficient. Carbon builds up faster. Small deposits slowly affect throttle response and starting behavior. Then there's storage. Letting a bike sit for weeks or months with untreated fuel is asking for trouble. Injectors clog. Carbs gum up. Seals dry out. And when you finally go to ride, the engine doesn't behave the way it used to. Hard starts, rough running, hesitation on throttle. None of this feels like a fuel issue until it becomes one. The fix is simple but often ignored. Use decent fuel. Ride regularly if possible. If the bike will sit, use fuel stabilizer. If storage is long term, drain or treat the system properly. Engines don't mind miles, they hate neglect. Number 7, neglecting the chain and drivetrain. Stress that travels forward. This one surprises riders because it doesn't feel like an engine problem. But drivetrain neglect creates stress that moves forward, straight into the transmission and engine. A chain that's too tight loads the output shaft constantly. A dry chain introduces shock. A poorly adjusted chain creates uneven power delivery. Every one of those stresses sends vibration and load back through the drivetrain. Engines love smoothness. They hate shock loads. When power delivery is jerky, the engine and transmission absorb that harshness. Over time, that stress wears bearings, gears, and seals faster than normal riding ever would. A properly maintained chain does more than keep things quiet. It cushions power. It smooths throttle input. It reduces mechanical shock. Chain maintenance isn't glamorous. It doesn't make horsepower, but it absolutely affects engine longevity. Clean it, lube it, adjust it correctly. Your engine doesn't operate in isolation. It's part of a system, and systems last longer when every part is cared for. 8. Riding stressed. Mechanical sympathy starts with the rider. This one sounds abstract, but it's very real. Riders who are rushed, tense, or stressed ride rough, not intentionally, subconsciously. Abrupt throttle, snatchy clutch work, jerky downshifts, harsh engine braking, all of that creates shock loads inside the engine and drivetrain, not once, repeatedly. Mechanical sympathy isn't about being slow, it's about being smooth. Calm riders make smoother inputs. Smooth inputs reduce stress on internal components. Engines respond best to predictability, gradual throttle, clean shifts, controlled deceleration. That kind of riding doesn't just feel better, it physically reduces wear. Aggressive inputs aren't always fast, they're often inefficient and abusive. Calm riding lets the engine work the way it was designed to. Here's the truth: your mindset shows up in your riding, and your riding shows up in your engine's health. Relaxed riders ride longer, and so do their engines. If this helped you, hit subscribe and stick with me here on Autozium. I'll keep breaking down the stuff nobody explains, so you ride smarter, smoother, and longer. Ride safe, ride smooth, and I'll see you in the next one.